Hello students, in this video lesson, we are going to learn a new topic of chapter 6 life process, that is transportation system in humans. So far you have discussed transportation in plants. So today we will start with transportation system in humans. So we'll start with the introduction. As you know, we humans are multicellular organisms. That means we are made up of number of different types of cells. There are millions and trillions number of cells present in our body, more than that actually. So these cells need large amount of energy, food, nutrition to work properly. But the question is, how we get energy in our body? As you all know, we get energy from the process of respiration, in which there occurs oxidation of food. Matlab, there occurs breakdown of food or glucose with the help of oxygen. But again the question rises, where from where this oxygen, this food or other things get transported or reaches every part of the body? So the answer is, it is due to the circulatory system. Circulatory system or transportation system in humans are both the same things. It is called circulatory system because in our body there is a fluid called blood that circulates throughout the body and carries oxygen, nutrients, and digested foods. So, the circulatory system in humans has four components. We'll study these components one by one in each video lesson. So, we have four components. First is blood. You all know blood is a kind of fluid that circulates, that moves in all the body parts. Next, we have blood vessels. These blood vessels are basically the container in which the blood flows. That makes circulatory system closed. आप सभी ने क्लास 9th में पढ़ा होगा that there are two type of circulatory system: open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system means when the blood flows in the cavity, not in the blood vessels, like mollusca arthropods में होता है. Whereas the closed circulatory system means when the blood flows inside the blood vessels. So, third one is heart. As you all know, heart is a pumping organ present in our body that pumps the blood throughout 24 hour. ये blood को pump करता है and that makes sure that blood reaches every corner, every cell of the body. Last but not the least, we have lymph. Lymph is basically another yellowish color fluid that helps in transportation as well as the it helps in removal of waste materials out from our body. So in this video we only talk about blood and its component. So as you all know, blood is a main carrier or a transporter present inside our body. The blood is made up of two parts actually. The first is the solid part and the other is liquid part. Now let me tell you, this solid part are nothing. These are just blood cells. As you can see, we have three blood cells. Commonly we have three blood cells: white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells. Next is the liquid part. Liquid part is called plasma. So here you can see the percentage. In blood, 55% there is plasma and the rest 45% is red. And the rest 45% is your blood cells. And again, one more thing, these blood cells keep floating in the plasma water. So we'll start with plasma, one of the component of blood. As I've already tell you, the plasma is a liquid. It is a colorless liquid. It means it has no color present in it. Second thing, the plasma contains 90 to 95% of water, and the rest part is of your salts, hormones, inorganic and organic components, your digested food. All these things are dissolved in the plasma. Next, we have red blood cells. So you all must be knowing red blood cells are called red because they have a pigment called hemoglobin. As we have already studied, hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment. Why it is called respiratory pigment? Because it carries oxygen throughout the body. And yes, this hemoglobin makes the blood red. One interesting thing about blood is red blood cells is that they lack nucleus. Yes, they do not have nucleus in them, and that is the reason they have very short lifespan. इसी वजह से ये कुछ टाइम तक ही जिंदा रह पाते हैं. And moreover, scientifically, red blood cells are called erythrocytes. Now, what these red blood cells do, they play a very important role because they carry oxygen, they transport food, they transport nutrients. So, they play a very large or very important role in the circulatory system. Again, there is another point about the red blood cells. The red blood cells are produced in bone marrow. Now, what is bone marrow? Basically, there are some bones like your thigh bones, your ribs bones. They has some kind of spongy tissue present inside them, and these spongy tissue are known as bone marrow. Move to white blood cells. White blood cells are called leukocytes. Yes, they are scientifically called leukocytes. They are very famously known as the soldiers of the cell. They are very famously known as the soldiers of the cell because they fight against the germs by producing antibodies against them. Suppose whenever a foreign body, a foreign particle enters the body through your nose, through your food, it enters the metabolism, it enters the internal structure of body. There, this white blood cells, they produce antibodies against the foreign material and they will kill them. Next we have is platelets, last blood cell component. So here you can see platelets are the fragmented type of cells. Yes, these have fragments as you can see here. You can see in this picture also. Again, this lacks nucleus. Yes, they do not have nucleus. But apart from this, they play a very important role. You all know when we get cut or wound in a hand or in any part of a body, after some times, the blood stops bleeding from that part. Why so? Because there acts fibrinogen and platelets. Yes, fibrinogen basically it's a protein that along with platelets forms clotting of blood that basically coagulates the blood and prevent the further bleeding of the blood from that area. So students, for this video lesson, we'll rest this topic here and we'll continue the topic in the next video lesson. Thank you.